I want to call your attention to a video that Alex Hormozi put out with Tony Robbins. The title of the video is, "It Took Me 50 plus years to realize what I'll tell you in 69 minutes." The thumbnail is Alex Hormozi and Tony Robbins with the simple phrase of F suffering. Matt, I want to thank you. You sent this to me. You thought it would hit home, and it did. I've not watched many long videos more than once, this being one of them. But what did you take away from it? Why did you think it would resonate so clearly with me?
Because I think you're, probably in a stage like a lot of people are, where they start asking why. And, what really resonated with me and I thought would resonate with you, somebody like Alex Hormozi has all the tactical answers. And they know, their craft really well. And that's how I think about you. When it comes to real estate investing, when it comes to, the game, how to win, by a lot of people's, metrics, you've already won. But then you start asking why and how and for who and these other questions, which, for anybody who's watched Alex Hormozi, I remember I had one of these note-taking apps that I would take on planes, because I would listen to content, I would read, and I'd take notes, and planes was like my thinking time. I'm always by myself traveling for work. And Alex Hormozi, when he had like 5,000 people on YouTube, I don't remember exactly when it was, but it wasn't that long ago. It's probably 5 years ago. I watched one video. I'm like, man, this guy is smart. This guy knows business. And I had 3 pages of notes. I watched another. I think that trip I took to Michigan or wherever it was, I came back with 17 or 18 full pages on my notepad. And for most of his content, a lot of people listen to it, I think, for that. It's tactical. It's real world experience. He knows what he's talking about. But in this video, you could tell almost immediately, this is different. This is not Alex Hormozi talking about, tactics and here's how it's done. But, more than anything, it was just like a why. And then somebody as, empathetic and smart as Tony Robbins, who's been around high performers for decades and decades, hearing his perspective is really cool.
Yeah. So there was so much in this. And again, having watched it nearly twice now, I think there's 10 minutes left in my second viewing. I have to admit this. So I'm a Tony Robbins fan. However, a lot of his interviews, he does this year, every year he goes on this tour of big podcasts. This year, like Graham Stephan in the Iced Coffee Hour and, all these others. A lot of those are just Tony telling the same stories over and over and over and over again. And, I've been hearing him forever. So I don't tune into a lot of Tony Robbins interviews because I assume they're the same thing. This one, A, you sent it to me, and B, the opening 20 seconds was Alex basically cutting in saying, hey, I could have done this interview as a total clickbait, algorithm driven, blah, 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 or I could have gotten 60 minutes of coaching, and I chose B. And I'm like, ooh, I've never seen Tony Robbins coach a high performing asset or athlete. And let's be clear, in the world of entrepreneurship, Alex Hormozi's on Mount Rushmore, if not the top, right? He did 9 figures in book sales in 3 days. No human being does that, maybe except J.K. Rowling. So again, it's a small list. So immediately I'm like, all right, I got it. I usually do these longer ones when I'm running, but this one actually I went outside and said, okay, I'm just going to sit here and watch and listen to this. And I'm glad I did, because I've never seen Tony Robbins coach somebody. And to watch him prod and dig into Alex, who again, I think is at the top of his game, and break him down and get the anabolic Alex and the analytical Alex and try to push him to think bigger. That was eye-opening and entertaining. To watch Alex basically say he's been remarkably successful because he likes suffering. He seeks suffering. It's like his happy place. It's like he knows what he's doing with suffering. And then to watch Alex almost flip in the video and go to anabolic Alex, where he kind of acknowledges like, I don't need to do that anymore. I've already got everything I want and more. I've already tried to give money away to charities and all I feel is broke. And, you know, all these, just to watch Tony uncover that in like 50 minutes was beautiful. And then the last thing I want to say about this, it was fun having Layla in the room because they cut to her a couple of times and you could see Layla was there just like enjoying her husband uncovering this other world. I thought that was also a nice touch.
Yeah. Yeah. One word that comes to mind for me is vulnerability. Cause I think that like somebody, you know, as alpha and as hard charging as Hormozi, you know, where like the title F happiness, you know, and he's just head down, grind. He knows how to do, like, for him to open up and be vulnerable and just be honest about like, you know, like some of this stuff it doesn't make me happy. It should, right? Like, and for Tony to be able to, you know, give him some insight on that was really cool. So yeah, I enjoyed it a lot too, because sometimes just out of habit and like, shoot, like I know it in my own business, I can get so stuck in habit and grind that you forget, like, why the heck are you doing it for? I think I saw a clip of somebody else. It was like Andy Elliott or something talking about his best year in business was the year where his wife told him, yeah, we learned to survive without you. Right? Like, congratulations. You made the most you've ever made in your business, and your family, you know, can survive without you. You know, in 2021, you know, personal story of mine, my highest producing year in mortgage. I ran the marathon. We took vacations, but upon reflection with my wife, I wasn't necessarily mentally there. I was physically there, but I was going on 10, 12, 14-mile runs. I was taking calls every single day, you know, because the mortgage business was busy. And so it's good to take a look at things and put priorities in order. And I think that was a big part of this one, right? Nothing to do with business strategy. This was a life strategy type of conversation, which I think all of us from time to time think about. And, you know, one thing I will say is I think there's a middle ground, and being around high performers and people that, you know, have success at the highest levels. And then also, like, I'm having funny conversations being around so many loan originators through ups and downs and whatnot. And I had this conversation yesterday on how many of them are just worthless, like no work ethic. They expect stuff to, and what I want people to avoid is don't use the, oh, you know, I've got work-life balance. You know, I'm spending all this time with my family, and that's why I'm not working very hard in business. I think there's a balance with both. And I think that the people that do it at the highest level, everything kind of weaves together, right? Like, my boys can learn how to do video editing. You know, my wife's involved. I get my wife's feedback daily. I'm like, you're an average consumer that doesn't understand mortgage, real estate, any of this stuff at a high level. So how does this come across? Like, is this chat bot that we're using on the website something that like is a good user experience for you? And you do that, you introduce, you know, some business friends with your family, and you can weave this stuff together where it's not just I'm hard charging, I'm ignoring my family and emotion at all costs because I need to win, or the other side of it where it's like I'm not winning because I'm coaching Little League and I'm the best dad that ever lived. I think you can do both, you know, actively coaching teams, actively running a mortgage business that, you know, does require 50 plus hours of my time. But there's other sacrifices I'll make. I don't know what's going on the hottest Netflix shows. I don't have, you know, a ton of hobbies outside of family, work, health.
Yeah. Yeah. Another thing that was a huge takeaway for me was understanding the transition from being analytic Alex or somebody that was mission driven. And I saw myself as that individual, right? When I was running go-to-market and trying to take software products from 0 to 100 million, I was maniacal. It's all I focused on. I was very unbalanced. And, you know, as the audience probably knows, in 2018, February of 2018, my world changed. And it was not fun, right? I was depressed. I didn't have a mission. And looking back on it, I can see why it's a struggle for Alex, right? Again, when that unfortunate event happened in February of 2018, it wasn't a money problem. It wasn't a want, need, or desire problem. It was a mission problem. And to watch Alex, again, go to this, ultimately where the video closed was he's going to try to help 1,000 men get $100,000, their first 100,000 in the bank account is I think where they settled. That was fun to watch. It's still it's still a lot of analytics. It's still a number and a metric, and I could still see Alex running on the treadmill, but it's not about him, right? Which was all the other missions that he's been taking. And now I hope this evolves. The other thing that I thought was really interesting, Tony talked about having kids. And now I don't know what Alex and Layla's priorities are. I don't know if they want kids or they don't want kids.
I think he said past that he doesn't, but who knows?
But it could change, right? 35-year-olds change their opinion all the time. And, you know, maybe that's just where they go. Maybe they realize that, you know, having their own child would be a great mission. And if that's what they want, I wish nothing but the best for them. But if they don't want kids and that's a joint decision, you know, all the best. I've seen some people online, specifically on X, basically say Alex and Layla both are losers if they don't have kids. And that's complete crap.
Yeah.
If two adults decide together that they don't want kids because of whatever reason, that's none of your business. And you should be wishing the best for them. So again, what I told these folks on X is stop putting your, you know, priorities on someone else. If it's what they want and they decide together, just let them be happy. And that was the one thing that I took away from the end of when I sat down the first time and I just finished. I actually asked myself, and I think I said this to Olivia as I was walking in, is I'm not sure Alex is happy. And that's wild. He sold 9 figures in books.
Right.
And I'm not sure he's happy. And I don't know if he's not happy because he no longer has a mission. The suffering that he got so used to is over. But it didn't feel to me that he was truly happy. Now, we saw some flashes of happiness with this anabolic Alex that Tony kept trying to pull on. But I don't know if it's stuck. Do you think Alex is happy?
I think that he's going through a transition. Like in my head, you know, what just popped out is like when he's in the game, when he's winning at high level in business, like that's the dopamine, right?
Yeah.
I can problem solve. I can do this. It almost reminds me of somebody who's playing a sport, you know, a professional NFL player, professional basketball player. Like when they're playing, you know, like most human beings, you have good days, you have bad days, but it's like, I'm in the game, I'm contributing to my team and we're winning. And I think it's one of those things where, you know, to a certain extent, he might be phasing out of that building portion of his career, which is like his playing days.
Yeah. I like that imagery. Yes. He's retiring from that grind, but what's next? Kind of Kobe Bryant. Is he going to write did he win an Oscar or something for writing a short play or short story or something?
Right. Yeah. And so many people struggle with that. I think that's a similar struggle to what, you know, he's dealing with is like my identity.
That's it. Yes.
Yeah.
Yes. I think you're right. I think you're onto something. Yeah.
So, yeah, I mean, another thing that I took out of that too is, you know, you talked about Tony's on this tour and like I followed him for a long time as well. I had like some of his speakers that work for him and his platform come out and speak to me and a group of loan originators. And it's all funneling to like, you know, go to the live event, go to his, you know, big online event. And, you know, the pull motivation that Tony talks about where it's something bigger than himself, you can still see it in Tony, where he talks about feeding hungry kids and helping kids. Like he's got that inner child where like that hole might never, ever get filled. So he's got endless motivation.
Yeah. And he's happy. That's the difference. I could see Tony being happy,
Right.
Right. And, clearly he's telling a story and he's trying to get you to the free event, which will get you right. But it's all about that bigger mission. And that's where I think
He's
he
doing
tried
it
to
with
take
purpose.
out.
Yeah.
He's
Yeah.
doing it with purpose. Right. And, he's got 7 championship rings and he's flexing I don't know what it was, a 28,000 square foot house or whatever it was. And again, I think he's trying to pull Alex there. And obviously it's really hard to get him there in a 59 or 69-minute conversation. But, I would love to see what Alex and Layla talked about, those 2 hours after that session. Like,
Right.
did anything stick, or did Alex say that's a bunch of crock and, glad that's over?
Yeah, because I follow Alex, I follow Layla, both genius business people. I think, Layla could probably be going through the same stuff. They're very similar in my eyes on a lot of stuff. And, a lot of Layla's stuff resonates with me because she had substance abuse issues. She overcame it. And so now she's like, grind her face off, all, in my opinion, and this is just me probably guessing. But, some of my business drive and health and wellness gym drive is me trying to give myself therapy, right? Like,
yeah, of course.
That's how I fix, the inner child that was broken, that turned to substances, and,
It's how you keep the demon away. Absolutely.
right. And so yeah, Layla may be going through something similar where like she has crushed it and she's smart and phenomenal at business. But like, what happens when, her retirement from this phase goes away, and especially if it's, if it's filling that, dopamine hit bucket of like, I don't know. I mean, I don't want to put this on somebody else. So I'll just, talk about myself. Sometimes you tie your self-worth to winning and losing.
Yeah. I think lots of people do. Yeah.
Right.
I think lots of people do. Yeah. So, again, I appreciate you sending it over. It certainly resonated with me like almost no long form video does. I think it was well done. It was fun to see Tony do something I've never seen, which is actually give live coaching to, again, thinking about Tony Robbins coaching the top 1% of the 1% on anything, I would pay to watch that.
Right.
And we got to watch it for free. So
yeah.
cool.
It'd be fun too, is like, I'm sure you enjoyed the video. I enjoyed the video. This video is something that many people enjoy. I hope it is enjoyed so much that enough messages get to Tony. I'm like, you know what, Tony, we'd like, a little glimpse into some of this stuff. And maybe you've got coaching clients that are willing to say, hey, I'm willing to do this live. If Tony does it, for the X number of dollars, for his favorite charity, and we both agree to record it. That would be, that would be fun. Imagine a podcast series that you would tune into every single week. It's Tony Robbins live coaching, billionaires and star athletes.
Come on, Tony, let's do it, buddy. You got this.
All right.
Set up.
Yeah. Somebody who knows Tony Robbins. Reach out, let them know that Matt the Mortgage Guy and Mike Zuber want to see that podcast made.
There you go. Well, where can people reach out to you if they want to get something started?
Go to mtmg.com. As always, I tell people this every day, and I was having this conversation yesterday. I've done this a few thousand times, so I know what I'm doing. And, quite honestly, I love it when business is good, Mike, because I'm always just leading with like, how can I help? No part of me, and probably to a fault, is thinking about the sale or, I'm going to make a commission off of this, especially when I'm busy. Connect with us, get good advice. If we're a good fit, great. I had somebody reach out to me yesterday and they're like, they had all these questions around the very best rock bottom price and all this other stuff. And I said, to be honest, I don't think we're a fit. The worst part is, when you're doing a for sale by owner, you're trying to figure out a bunch of complex stuff. Like, you need me more than ever. You don't know it. And I don't want to, come across as a salesman by telling you like some online company like Tomo or a kid in a call center at Rocket, like wild work to be, trusting those folks. So for professional advice, mtmg.com.
Thank you, buddy. Appreciate you. Take care. Later.
Thanks, Mike.